Several Florida law enforcement leaders are back from a trip to the U.S.-Mexico border where they got a first-hand look at the situation there. Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood was one of them, and he joins us live to talk about it. Good morning, Sheriff. Good to see you again.
Good morning, Danielle. Good to see you, and no technical difficulties this morning, I hope.
No technical difficulties. I'm so happy about that. What I was not happy about, and I have to tell you quite honestly, when I spoke with you last week, I was frankly stunned to hear your description of what you saw at the border, and you've described what you saw as heartbreaking and angering. Was what you witnessed worse than what you perhaps even thought?
It was, and Bradford County Sheriff Smith and Putnam County Sheriff Gator LaRoche actually scooped a 1-month-old out of the Rio Grande, where a coyote was threatening to drown the baby if anybody interfered with him, hurting about 80 people across the river. It was unbelievable. It's absolute chaos. This is not a Republican or Democratic issue, Danielle. This is an American issue. It's a humanitarian issue, and intertwined in that is drugs, human trafficking, and criminal gangs that are entering our country illegally.
Can we talk a little bit more about the gangs and the human trafficking and the drugs? We know that overdoses are increasing, right, in our state and in Volusia County as well. Do you think there's a direct link, right, between what's happening at the border and these overdoses that are happening here?
There is. I think all of us in Central Florida can tell you unequivocally that the fentanyl and the heroin and the methamphetamine, the overwhelming majority, probably 90% of it, is coming through the Mexican border into our communities. In Volusia County alone, in the last 4 years, almost 1,000 Volusia County residents lost their lives in overdoses, and probably about 6,000 people have overdosed. That's just Volusia County. Multiply that out over the other 67 counties. The Border Patrol seized about 468 pounds of fentanyl so far this year. That's enough to kill every Floridian 9 times over.
That is absolutely amazing to even hear. And, you know, one of the things you also said is, you know, this is not a left issue, it's not a right issue, right? But we do know that Governor Ron DeSantis is going to be going to the border. How do you take, Sheriff, politics out of it when it seems to have become a partisan issue?
Yeah, and that's the $22 to $64 question. How do we get away from the partisan divide and say, there are good folks that want to come to this country and they want to be part of the American dream? Absolutely. We have to lay the laws in place, follow the law, bring them in. But on the other side, Danielle, the border is under attack. It gets flooded in 3 or 4 different zones with these families and these little kids tying up the Border Patrol. And then on the outskirts, while everybody's running to pull these people out of the river, you have these criminals and these thugs and these drug gangs bringing in the drugs, bringing in the criminal members into society. And that's where we have to come together and say, enough. Everybody wants to help the people that need help, but there's got to be a legal process to do that. It's just not within 48 hours of you hitting the American soil, you're on an airplane destined for Tampa or Nevada or Washington, D.C. or New York City. And I saw it firsthand when I was flying back home. You know, people that were at the border that night, our first night there Wednesday, were processed and given airline tickets and a court date 3 years out.
Just an amazing situation there. I wish we had more time to talk to you, but I'm glad we were able to bring you back today, and hopefully we'll have you back again to talk more about this, because this, of course, is an ongoing issue. Sheriff Mike Chitwood, thanks again.
Thanks, Danielle.
Hope to see you soon. All right, it is now 10 minutes after the 9 o'clock hour.